puts things together. And it makes you popular.
Not off to a good start here. Dex has been stabbed, but he was just playing a dirty trick to capture these two ambulance men who've been making a side hustle killing patients and then selling their organs. So it seems that life for Dexter has pretty much returned back to normal. He's got his blood slides, he's got his son, and he's seeing a girl who's way too young for him. It's not what it looks like. This is Batista's sister Jamie, and she's taken on the job as Harrison's babysitter. LaGuerta and Matthews are up in their ranks, with LaGuerta becoming the new captain. Behind the scenes, these two still hate each other, and their bickering reveals that LaGuerta and Batista are now completely separated. Now, I would have thought that a divorce is a big deal, and maybe something the audience should have seen rather than just being told about. But never mind, let's move on. Masuka's leading a class for future forensic scientists, with a heavy focus on the pretty blonde one.
And this is the future of forensic science.
Wow. The future looks very bright.
So she'll be sticking around for sure. Dex is setting his sights on his next kill, and this one happens to be an old school friend, where as fate would have it, there's an opportunity to see him tonight at their school reunion. He wants to get down to business, but gets pulled aside by all the people who are amazed by his transformation.
Dexter Morgan. Wow, it's like someone's been working out.
Yeah, doing my best.
Ghost Dad helps him realise that now, for the first time in his life, he's the popular kid. So why not make the most of it and take a break from killing to bust out some moves? Somehow, this uncomfortable and awkward dancing impresses the popular girl, so she takes him into their old classroom and goes down to tie his shoes, making the classic mistake of doing the laces too tight and making him pass out. The serial killer for this season is out on a boat with his sidekick, catching a pregnant snake. What? Then they find this random fruit vendor, and this sidekick, whose name is Travis, reads him some Bible passage before going in for the kill. Dex and the team move in, and find the vendor's guts have been ripped out and placed on his own scales, for some poetic reason. The body is later found washed up on a beach, and they can see that there's something squirming inside of him. It's some baby CGI snakes.
Whatever the message, whoever sent it went to a lot of time and trouble. This is no amateur.
Dex eventually gets round to killing the school guy. No real surprise there. Quinn has a surprise in store though. He's going to propose to Deborah, but while he's psyching himself up, a crazed gunman enters the restaurant and opens fire. Deborah immediately jumps into action and takes the guy out.
I'm not afraid of you, son. I damn sure ain't afraid to die.
Want to hear the least convincing ADR ever?
What's the story, Daddy?
Well, that was my son, who's still learning how to voice act. But the ADR from the actual kid isn't much more convincing.
Monster story, Daddy.
Again?
You want a monster story?
Yeah?
Okay then, let's talk about episode 2, Once Upon a Time. Prince Quinn proposes to fair maiden Deborah, but she says nayeth, thy time is not nigh. She said something along those lines, just with maybe a few F words here and there. She's become famous on the internet as someone recorded her taking out the restaurant shooter.
She's a superstar. I mean, have you guys read the comments about
Oh,
her?
she has. And if you're the one that wrote the poem about my ass...
I know not of what you speak. And it was a limerick, thank you.
Their jubilation is interrupted by the presence of an ex-con who claims to have turned a new leaf, becoming a part-time minister, part-time mechanic, and part-time rapper called Mos Def. He happened to know the fruit vendor, so he's here to help with information about who the fruit vendor used to hang with. Dexter and Batista don't believe he's a changed man, but he assures them he most definitely has.
I don't give a rat's ass what you think about me, understand? Or the work that I do, or the men that I do it with.
We get to see some of Travis's personal life, visiting his sister for dinner, and on the surface he seems to be a very mild-mannered, ordinary nice man. But like all killers, he's got a real dark side, and this dark side's being guided by his mentor, Professor James Gellar. They're planning for Doomsday, and this series of killings they're doing is a way to rid people of sin and keep God happy. It's something like that. That detail isn't too important. What is important though, is that you don't get put off by how uninteresting these villains appear to be, as there is a cool twist coming. Dexter brings in his car for repairs, just so he can chat with reformed conman Sam. To be fair, Sam is brutally honest about his past, and how he's still fighting the demons each day. But he's certain that his work of helping the other ex-cons stay on a righteous path is his personal path to being redeemed in God's eyes.
Why did you redeem
him in! Dexter, still being suspicious, follows Sam to a random house, where we hear a gunshot and see Sam putting a guy in his boot. He follows him back to the garage, where Sam's dog alerts him to Dexter's presence. He quickly comes up with the excuse of coming by to get something from his glove box.
Maybe we should come back tomorrow.
No. Get it over with now.
Turns out Sam didn't kill the guy. It was the guy who took a shot at him, and so Sam knocked him out. And this guy was no rando. It's Sam's apprentice, Nick, who went missing to go get high again. So everything seems in order, but then drama arrives. These gangsters come looking for Nick, but Sam isn't afraid to die in protecting his bro.
I'm not afraid of you, son. I damn sure ain't afraid to die. I know what's waiting for me on the other side. Do you?
So it seems Dexter was wrong about Sam.
Oh, it works mysterious ways.
You don't say.
Deputy Chief Matthews promotes Deborah to lieutenant for her viral fame as a hero. This PD needs someone who the public look up to. She knows that lieutenants marrying staff never goes too well, so she's still saying no to Quinn, and so he's saying no to being a couple. Back at the station, Masuka's new assistant Ryan, which I'm now learning can also be a girl's name, is proving to be a distracting employee, and it turns out she kind of welcomes the attention. She openly admits that she likes to be watched.
You like to watch. Good to know.
Keen-ass nipple parade instinct.
Travis has a new victim locked up, saying he needs to repent for his sins. But something tells me no amount of repenting is going to earn this guy his freedom. James reminds Travis that he's got to be held here prisoner until he's pure of heart, so that his sacrifice will please God.
There's much more at stake here than one man's suffering. We have to be strong.
After visiting a new crime scene, Dexter realises that she's missing the same tooth as some bodies that were found in a very old case, the unresolved mystery of the Tooth Fairy killer. As the killer will be very old at this point, Dexter checks out a local retirement home, looking for any residents who recently moved here from Oregon. And yep, there's one guy who fits the profile.
Walter Kenny moved here from Grants Pass, Oregon 5 years ago.
Dexter invites the old guy to a round of golf, a decision he soon regrets, because this guy, Walter, is a grumpy a-hole, who seems to hate everything and everyone.
Worst mistake I ever made was moving down to this piss corner of the country.
Dexter agrees to drive him to a drugstore, but he's not just here for meds. He wants Dexter to pick up some very specific, dirty reading material.
And the latest teen-ass nipple parade and spanked.
Teen-ass nipple parade and spanked. Can this really be the man who inspired me to keep a scrapbook?
I do not like the way he immediately starts reading it as soon as Dexter hands them over. Save it for when you get back home, you dirty beast. Later that evening, he holds Dexter at gunpoint, saying he checked his plates and found out that he's a cop looking into his past.
Maybe I haven't taken a decent shit in 10 years, but I'm not stupid.
Dexter, seeing his seatbelt isn't on, drives headfirst into a fence to knock him out. And yeah, that's the end of the Tooth Fairy.
You're not gonna die as the Tooth Fairy, you're gonna die as a sad old man.
No!
Masuka has a surprise for Ryan. Knowing how excited she was about the ice truck killer case, he takes the famous prosthetic arm out of evidence, allowing her to see it in person. We later see Ryan sneaking this arm into her bag, so it seems that she may be taking advantage of Masuka. The episode ends with the sinful guy being dismembered and tied to a horse, which gallops its way through this busy town. The weird symbols they're putting on their victims and their obsession with Doomsday gives us some promise of these villains actually turning out to be interesting.
The four horsemen of the apocalypse are described in Revelation 6.
Dexter's on the scene, and even he finds the apocalypse horses to be a bit extreme, where they've torn apart one guy and stitched him onto 4 different mannequins. We meet the new detective, replacing Deborah's old position. His name is Mike Anderson, and he immediately proves his worth on the force by showing that he's equally as intelligent as he is hard-working.
It's the end of the world. Something like that. 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Doesn't take a genius to figure it out.
Dexter finds a folded up piece of paper wedged into the dead guy's eyelid, and there's a number written on it. He predicts that there will also be a number somewhere on the previous victim, and sure enough, there it is. Mike Anderson ties the methods of killing to the Book of Revelations, so that might give them an idea of what to expect next. With Dexter's help, they figure out that these numbers indicate a countdown to when the next sacrifice will happen.
They happen 5 days apart. The two murders, they happened 5 days apart. The difference between 1237 and 1242 is 5.
Masuka gets a call from someone trying to verify an item that he's just seen for sale. It's the ITK prosthetic arm. So he calls out Ryan for breaking the law and also his trust in stealing this from under his nose.
I was short on rent and I needed the money.
Are you crazy? I could lose my job over this.
Even though she says that her attraction to him is real, she still used him. So he says, "Get out, you're done here." Absolute respect for Masuka. That's a man of integrity. There's a funny moment where Quinn and Batista are taking a quick break from work, and Quinn convinces him to light up a special kind of cigarette, and they hang out in the car getting monged out. I'm not very up to date with my stoner terms.
Dude, get your big sausage hands off me.
Travis and James have conflicting feelings on living a normal life while carrying out their plan, where Travis thinks it's okay to go out on a date with a lady, but James thinks it's a distraction and it could annoy God in thinking that he's not committed. James creepily lingers nearby while they're getting busy having relations outside of wedlock. When Travis wakes up, she's been tied up in the kitchen, chosen as their next victim to sacrifice.
Should have thought about that before you defiled her. She's part of God's plan now.
Speaking of God stuff, Sam's giving Dexter some inspiring words as they sit in the hospital waiting room. Harrison's got some kind of bad tummy ache, but it ends up not being a big deal. And it's here that Dexter does something out of character, making his first ever prayer to the Almighty, hoping for divine mercy on his poor child.
I don't know how this works, but if there's something I need to do in return, I'll do it.
Okay.
They get a lead on James being a potential suspect, but he's been missing for some time, going off grid after stealing a valuable sword that he then used in one of his killings. Then they get a call to come to a greenhouse where they believe the next victim's been found. And when they get to the greenhouse, there she is, surprisingly still alive. One of the officers then sets off a tripwire, finishing the job by turning the victim into a bloodied angel. They also find a cupboard full of locusts, and Dexter spots a suspicious looking Travis, taking joy in seeing the crime scene.
I'm not looking at Deborah's middle-aged professor. Is this Doomsday number 2?
John tried to run from God. He didn't get too far.
Dexter finds out the glue used on the angel wings is the very same glue used to restore old books. And of course he keeps his information to himself, as he wants to be the one to catch him. In the morning briefing, we see Masuka's new assistant Lewis, a guy whose main weapon is a laptop. He offers to help track down the person who bought ITK's arm. In the end, however, all he was able to do is clear all data from the site regarding its sale, which isn't quite the result of getting the hand back, but at least it's something. Dexter sits in a museum watching a video about restoration, and he sees the same guy, Travis, who he saw at the crime scene. He can't look into this right now, as he's called to another crime scene, a wife who killed her cheating husband before turning the gun on herself. Travis and James are at a bar drinking coffee, which I'm surprised they would even sell at a bar. And Travis spots a newspaper where he learns the name the police have given to this particular case. They call it the Doomsday Killings.
It's kind of catchy. They probably should stay out of sight.
Travis waits around for one of these girls to walk off by themselves. When he attempts to kidnap her, he gets spooked off by some guys. On the next try, he runs her down with a car, with a little help from James.
Go on. Get the girl before somebody comes.
Dexter finds a Bible in Travis's house, where the cutout numbers are a match for the numbers found on the victims, so he knows for sure he's got the right guy. Ever since Quinn got dumped, he's been trying to bone every attractive lady in sight, and this college professor who knows James is impossible for him to resist.
You're not married, are you?
Definitely not.
Then I want another drink.
Batista comes to collect him the next morning, and while he's waiting, he finds James's old sketchbooks, with drawings that match each of the Doomsday Killings.
Holy shit.
Deborah gets advice from her therapist that she needs to move out of Dexter's place and try to separate herself from the drama. She knows that the house from the Lover's Tiff murder scene is currently up for rent, and with the help of Detective Anderson, they're able to negotiate a cheaper price, considering that this place is now very hard to sell.
Make that 3/4 2-year lease and you clean up the place.
Looks like you got yourself a new tenant.
Dexter cheese wires Travis and demands him to drive, just like his very first kill. In the first episode, that is. Although in this case, Travis makes it very clear that he's been manipulated by James. James is actually the one doing the killings, as he doesn't have the courage to do it himself. Dexter lets him go with a warning to go find a new mentor, and in setting him free, he's hoping that when followed, he'll lead Dexter right to James. The episode ends with the surprising murder of brother Sam, but we can't see who did it.
Brother Sam forgives you for gunning him down like a dog.
They investigate the scene where Sam was shot. He's not actually dead yet, just to correct myself slightly from what I said at the end of the last one. Dexter sneaks off to find the baseball bat that he used to fend off the gangster. Maybe he can trace the blood and find out who Sam's enemies were. At Sam's candlelit vigil / memorial thing, Nick seems reluctant to give up any names of the gang members who threatened Sam. But Dexter reminds him who they're doing this for, and also it's better for Nick if he answers to Dexter rather than the police, as he won't keep any record of this conversation.
Keep your name out of it, they won't.
Stays over on St. Andrews, the White House near Romaine.
Dexter drives to the gangster's house, but he's not the only one with this lead. Earlier, Detective Anderson flamingoed some druggie, forcing him to give up the same name. When the police rock up, he comes out blasting a shotgun, which doesn't go too well for him. When reviewing the security footage, Dexter notices the dog isn't barking, and he knows that the only other person who the dog is obedient to is Nick. Showing further conflict in his mind, Travis isn't feeling good about the woman he ran over. She's constantly crying out in pain, and he wants to give her medication so she doesn't suffer any more than she has to. But James assures him that her suffering is justified. Naughty sinners don't get aspirin. Sam wakes up from his coma for a short while, and reveals that Nick is the one who shot him. Sam doesn't want Dexter to seek revenge. He wants him to ignore his dark thoughts, and let the light in him guide his way. After Sam finally passes over to the other side, Nick and Dexter go for a seaside stroll, and because Dexter can't ignore his dark impulses, he drowns Nick in the sea. That's not how you baptize someone, Dexter. You didn't show forgiveness, you killed him. Quinn, continuing to go off the rails, shows up at Deborah's party completely smashed, and pushes things way too far by hitting on Batista's sister. So Batista hits on him back with his fist. Quinn asks Deborah sincerely if she ever actually loved him, and her silence back says it all.
That's what I thought.
Gotta say, I do feel bad for Quinn. Yeah, maybe sometimes he's been a dick, and maybe he was trying to move things along too quickly for Deborah. But she's been pretty cold in how easily she's cut him off. If we were in Quinn's shoes, it would be hard not to feel used.
Here we go, kids. We're crossing the state line into Nebraska.
Oh boy. I haven't accused any episode of being filler so far, to the best of my recollection. But this episode is pure filler. Even the reviews online that are positive seem to agree with this. I will say it's not completely devoid of purpose, so let's talk about it. Byney's back as Dexter's dark passenger, as after killing Nick, his mental state has fallen backwards. When he learns that Trinity's wife and daughter have been murdered, he sets off on a road trip to Nebraska to confront Jonah, who claims that Trinity is the one who did it, which of course means that he's lying.
Go back to Miami. It's over.
Oh, I'd say the fun is just beginning.
On the road trip, Dexter got a little loosey-goosey with his moral code, hitting on this girl who looks way too young for him, and then stealing her gun and firing it off while speeding down the highway.
I don't even like guns.
Faster! Let's go faster!
Jonah confesses the truth, that his sister killed herself, and then when Mummy kept on blaming the kids for everything that's happened, and still simping for Trinity.
I am so thankful for you, Arthur.
Thank you, my devoted wife. Jonah could take no more and killed Mummy.
And I exploded on Mom. I kept hitting her over and over, just like Dad.
Dexter realises that Jonah is no monster. He was acting rationally, and this moment makes Dexter see that he should have left Trinity in the past, and also he needs to leave Biney in the past. Quinn apologises for his recent behaviour, and Deborah shows some compassion and warmth towards him once again, and so they kiss once again. Oh, come on, really? But to be fair, Deborah says that they can't get back into this again. They need to be done for good. Travis wants to separate himself from the Doomsday plans, wanting to protect his sister from harm, and of course not wanting to get arrested. But his wishes might not matter, as Deborah now has a list of James's old students.
I'll help you. I'll help you kill him.
Dexter's in trouble with Deborah for taking off more time than permitted in his alleged grieving over Sam. Will she ever find out the truth, that he was actually out shooting loads and tearing up the road in Nebraska? When she later finds the pen that he kept from the hotel, he does reveal the truth. Well, maybe not all of it, but he does confess to visiting Jonah, claiming that he needed someone to talk to about everything he's lost. She rightfully calls this out as a crappy excuse, as she's right here. He's not the only one who suffered at the hands of a serial killer. As the episode goes on, their relationship continues to crumble, with him refusing to open up about what he gets up to and why.
Can we do another night? I'm pretty tired, and I just want to spend some downtime at home with Harrison.
Okay. Sure, another night.
The Doomsday Boys are arguing about their separation, with James suggesting that Travis's sister might look good playing the part of the whore of Babylon, which to me kinda seems like a compliment. She do be kinda bad, right? Babylon looking worth the pain to get there. Dexter finds Travis so they can try and work together, but at this point he wants no part in it. James is on a warpath, and anyone that gets in his way is going to suffer. Dexter persists, however, as Travis is no innocent man. One way or another, he's going to help fix this. He says, okay, fine, just let me get my sister out of town first. But it's kinda too late for that. As soon as she was spotted talking with Deborah, James made her the next demonstration as the Babylon baddie.
You think it's because I talked to her? You think it's to keep her quiet?
This isn't your fault, Deb.
The pressure is on for Dexter to find James, as Deborah has narrowed down her search to Travis being the most likely suspect. Right now, he's being punished by James for having a clouded judgment. A hot iron rod should set his mind straight again. Dexter finds him chained up in the church, but James is now nowhere in sight. Dexter hides Travis in a motel room while he goes on the hunt for James Gellar. His current lead is a parking ticket that he's linked to another professor who teaches the virtues of atheism. So yeah, James isn't a big fan of this and will probably target him next. Dexter tries to warn the professor, but in his line of work, he's very much used to being threatened by weirdo fanatics, so he doesn't take his advice seriously. And as you might have guessed, he pays the price for this. This time, the scene seems a lot less gruesome, which is surprising because this demonstration is for the bowls of wrath, and these bowls are usually filled to the brim with blood. Excuse me, waiter, you forgot my tomato bisque. Travis wakes up in the motel room, and it seems that he hasn't escaped James just yet, as he's left him a message in blood. He tells Dexter that James spoke with him, asking him to meet up tonight at the church. Lewis is dating Batista's sister Jamie, and she's so impressed with his nerdy collections that they end up boinking. As the camera pans out from the steamy action, we see that it was Lewis who bought the ITK hand. Poor Masuka can't seem to hire anyone trustworthy. Outside the church, Dexter tells Travis to be the one who goes in first to confront James, while Dexter sneaks round the back. James gives him one last warning. He must follow the plan, or suffer the consequences when Doomsday finally arrives.
I have only tried to do what I thought was right, what I thought—
No! God has given you so many chances, and you disappoint him time after time.
When Dexter gets inside, he finds Travis knocked out on the floor, but once again James is nowhere in sight. He hears a generator running in the basement, where he finds a large freezer. And let me tell you, I was in no way expecting this twist.
Gellar. He's been dead all along.
Yep, Travis is a certified schizo. James Gellar killed no one. It's only ever been Travis, with James being his dark passenger. So I guess rip to James Gellar. I believe this was my first exposure to the actor Edward James Olmos, and he did a great job in this. I wish I could have shown more clips of him talking, but I didn't feel like dealing with more copyright claims than is absolutely necessary.
People are always being killed in the Bible, but I'm with you till the end of days.
Travis locks Dexter in the basement and then goes outside to have a mental breakdown. Despite being faced with the truth of what he's done, he's still determined to finish what he started, and he still sees the ghost of James Gellar.
He thinks Gellar is still alive.
Talking to someone who isn't there. Huh?
Dexter takes off James's hand and plants his fingerprints around the church to keep the police thinking that he's still alive. Doing this so they don't focus too much on Travis, allowing Dexter to seek his own justice. The same old situation for every season. Right now, Travis is at an internet cafe where some dude is just openly watching porn. Am I the only one who does this shit in private? The fuck is wrong with people? Personal anecdote for you. I was in a Chinese takeaway recently, sitting in the waiting area for my order, and some guy next to me unlocks his phone, and immediately, on full volume, a woman starts passionately moaning, and the poor guy got so flustered that he dropped his phone while hurriedly trying to swipe away, and it just kept on playing for what must have felt like a lifetime for him. So yeah, lesson learnt here I hope. Maybe this can be the takeaway for this video. After you fap, close the app. Back to the blog. One of his more devout followers is Dee's rapper boyfriend Lil Kev, and oh boy is he pleased to meet his hero and service him in any way he desires.
It's nice to meet you too, Steve.
His wife is in too, ready to prove her commitment to the cause. Dexter recalls Travis wanting to fix a mistake, and he believes this mistake was showing mercy to one of his victims and letting her go. Her name was Holly Benson. Maybe if Dexter can find her on time, he can stop her from being the next demonstration. Maybe. He goes to her boyfriend's house, who turns out to be a husband and father. The angry daughter who answers the door tells her that the slag has probably shacked up with her daddy on his boat called the Ricochet Rabbit. Getting ploughed on this nice boat would have been a nice outcome for her, but instead she gets taken by Travis and the gang. Stepping things up a notch for this crime scene, or tableaus as they're being called, Travis wants to release a poisonous gas into Miami. It might be a small canister, but this wormwood poison is very potent.
We thought it would be bigger.
An investigation happening in the background over the past few episodes is the death of a call girl named Jessica, and Deborah's now finding out that the last person she was in contact with was Chief Matthews. Matthews and LaGuerta have been setting aside their differences and trying to help each other out, all in the goal of keeping their promotions. So now LaGuerta is doing all she can to sweep this case under the rug.
If you have a problem with me investigating a potential homicide, then fire me. Otherwise, I am reopening the case.
In Chief Matthews' defense, her death isn't his fault. She was ODing and he did try to revive her. Quinn, continuing his crash out chapter, wakes up hungover in his car, looking like an absolute train wreck. And even when he's at work he's messing up, falling asleep at the desk.
Doomsday's out there searching for his next victim and you're asleep on the job.
Worst of all, he misses his duty of backing up Batista when questioning Little Kev's wife. He notices James Gellar's books on their shelf, but before he's able to react, Travis knocks him out.
What are we gonna do? He's a cop.
He doesn't enforce God's law.
To end the episode, Dexter finds the Ricochet Rabbit boat and takes out who he believes to be Travis, but actually it's Lil Kev. Then he pulls up the anchor for some reason and finds Holly Benson's body on the end of it.
Travis is gone and you killed the wrong guy. When you gonna let this go?
When I kill Travis.
The beast is coming for you.
The rest of the PD move in to check out the boat. No idea why Masuka's wearing a bandana, but he's rocking it, so I can't really hate on it. Travis has Batista tied up on the bed, and when Quinn finally answers the call for backup, he realises he's in deep shit and does a reckless U-turn into oncoming traffic. When he gets to the house, he just about saves Batista from being burned alive. This next part of the story is awesome, and I'm glad I captured my live reaction because it's a moment that really shakes things up for this season, which I've got to be honest, was starting to feel a bit uneventful, even with the Gellar in the cellar twist. Travis has sent Little Kev's wife Beth into the PD using Batista's pass, and when she's about to walk into a meeting room with Deborah, Dexter spots her backpack and the trigger which releases the poison. So he pushes Deborah to safety and locks Beth inside the room, leading to her brutal death. Oh, what? Oh shit. Oh my god. Now, with this gas being released, I couldn't help but ask questions, because we were led to believe this gas is super toxic, where even a trace amount can lead to health problems. Both Deborah and Dexter inhaled some. Now hang on a minute, surely that room isn't airtight. Surely there's going to be some seepage from underneath the door. Okay, he's feeling it. She's feeling it too. Okay, so they have kind of addressed it.
Check on my brother. I'll be right back, okay?
Or maybe not. She seems fine now. Well, it turns out I was a fool for doubting this show, because we see this event does have some lingering consequences that play into the plot later on. Oh boy, okay. Now we come to a part of the story that, despite being happy about having a live reaction to it, I very much regret watching it. Let me explain. So Deborah's therapist awakens her to the realisation that her whole life she's treated Dexter like a boyfriend, while never actually going there, because that's kinda gross. But now the elephant has been recognised as being in the room, she's forced to wonder if she's in love with her brother, which regrettably leads us to this scene, where they're sharing a succulent Chinese meal, and they start edging closer to each other, until... Don't, oh no!
You're so good, show me.
Don't!
Your hand's shaking, what is it?
Nope. You. Don't, man, it's weird. Please say no, well up brother and sister.
The next minute, what?
It's a dream. She's going to wake up, soaked in sweat, and she's going to go, oh, thank God, it was just a dream. I didn't actually F my brother. No! I called it. I f***ing called it. Oh, thank the Lord. I love being right, especially now. Oh, God damn you. God damn you for doing that to me. So, yeah, I told you things were going to get spicy. Deborah and the Chief have an interaction that does actually happen, where he pleads with her not to pursue the call girl case any further. He was down bad when he hired her services, and he did try to revive her, but there was no saving her. She sympathises with him and agrees to the cover-up.
What do I tell that girl's father?
I tell him you found nothing. She dust. No one needs to know anymore.
Lewis has been making a game about serial killers, and he even includes the Bay Harbor Butcher.
Jack the Ripper, the Bay Harbor Butcher?
I am the Bay Harbor Butcher.
Wait a minute, Dexter kills people. Is that what this show's about? This is a revelation. Dexter craps on his concept for a game, and so he runs off home crying. Then he draws on the ITK hand for some reason, and then mails it to Dexter. Is he going to turn out to be another killer, or just some weird fan of ITK? We don't know yet. On the subject of hands, Dexter has nailed James Gellar's hand to a statue to stage a tableau and provoke Travis into coming out of hiding. When Dexter sends him a video message, provoking him even further, Travis gets so wound up that he paints Dexter on his wall as a demon. A pretty goofy looking demon. That looks so goofy. You gotta check this out. Try as it might with the dramatic music, it's really hard to take this scene seriously when he's looking like Deadpool without the mask. When Dexter tries to take him out, the wormwood in his system causes him to go dizzy, giving Travis the upper hand. Then he wakes up in this adorable little dinghy, ready to be the next tableau, the Ring of Fire. Because Travis is a TV villain, he doesn't stick around to make sure Dexter's actually dead. And we end with Dexter floating around in the water, waiting to be picked up.
How's the world going to end if the beast is still alive?
Dexter's been floating out at sea all night, and somehow hasn't been eaten by sharks. I guess that Scarface PS2 game is full of it. He gets picked up by a fishing boat, but this captain is no saviour. He's a no-good thief.
He's robbing us, and I have nothing to give.
As this lot appear to be illegals, Dexter feels comfortable taking the guy out, knowing that these witnesses won't tell. The house that Travis has been crashing in is still occupied by the previous owners, who are currently rotting away on the kitchen floor. He's preparing his last tableau, as Doomsday is finally supposedly here. After he vacates the house, the call comes in when someone reports the bodies. Dexter is the first one inside, which is another stroke of good luck, as only he gets to see the Wade Wilson tribute.
You look like an avocado. Had sex with an older, more disgusting avocado.
When the others arrive, they're greeted with a scratched up face instead. Getting ahead of the others, Dexter finds one of Travis's sketches, showing where he's going to set up his final tableau. And when comparing this sketch with the Google results to match the mountain shape with a Miami skyscraper, I find it incredibly frustrating that he clicks on each one before clicking on the obvious match. You don't have tunnel vision, Dexter. You can see the other options right now. So why are you wasting everyone's time doing this Dora the Explorer bullshit of going through each of the obviously wrong ones first?
Do you see the mountain?
Batista tells Quinn that he's putting him up for a transfer, as risking the life of a fellow officer is kind of a no-no. Can you see the exit door? See! Well, you're not going through that door just yet, as Quinn tells Batista that he's just signed up to AA, which legally protects him from being transferred.
That rule is for people that really have a problem. You're not an alcoholic, you're just a...
Travis snoops around Dexter's house, eating his cereal and opening his parcel, and he didn't realise that Jamie's here with Harrison.
Okay, let's go.
Realising Dexter has a son, Travis knows precisely who the next victim will be. Who better to sacrifice than the son of the beast? That would really please God. This sacrificial lamb idea is what Deborah and the team are now predicting, and Dexter comes to the heart-sinking realisation that Harrison has gone missing. Dexter rushes to the roof of the building just as Travis is beginning his ritual. He offers him an exchange. Spare the child, and you can have the beast all to yourself.
How's the world going to end if the beast is still alive? Until the beast is dead, a sacrifice is meaningless.
Travis says, deal. I'll let your son go, but you have to inject yourself with your knockout drug. Dexter complies, and somehow does the injection without the chemical taking effect. Don't know what sleight of hand he pulled off here, but that doesn't really matter, he just won. I guess we'll never know if Doomsday was actually going to happen. Dexter sets up Travis for the final kill of the season, and we get this very surprising moment of Deborah finally catching Dexter in the act. Oh shit.
This is not how it's supposed to be!
Deborah's here! No, she's not going to see him.
How it's supposed to be.
We have to unfilter this.
Maybe everything.
Oh, Deborah's about to witness him killing.
As it should be.
Oh shit. No! Oh, fudge. No! Ooh, boy. Wow. That's that. Okay. Kind of a dull lead up to it, but that was a great that was a great ending to it. That's such. Oh my god. How's she gonna handle this? What a fantastic way to hook you into watching season 7. I know I'm excited to make a start on it soon, but there is one video coming before that, and if you're still here listening to me, it means that you might be interested to hear that the next video is going to be a complete recap of the cult classic horror film series called Wreck. Well, technically they're not actually zombie films, but I'll elaborate further on the recap. My aim is to premiere that video on Halloween. That's a typical YouTuber thing to do, right? Gotta have something Halloweeny on Halloween. If you want to get in the mood for some horror films right now, why not check out the last horror film that I recapped on here? I think it was a recap anyway. It's been so long. It was Eight-Legged Freaks, and you can click on that as soon as I finish waffling, right after these standard shoutouts for all of my supporters you see here on the screen. Thank you all kindly, much love.